What is good people? Thank you so much for checking out this video. Eating lunch here, so I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules to check out this video. I appreciate it. Make sure that you hit that like button. It's most important. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed and all that. On all that, I'm getting text messages here. All right, so let's jump into it. Right, so I made a video on my other podcast, kind of going over the whole Diddy situation. I included New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and I included somebody else I talked about before, Michael Eric Dyson. And and I wasn't really gonna, these cases, particularly the Diddy case, they're interesting, but they're not to me, because I know that at the end of the day, you really have to, wait for all the information to come in. So a lot of people want to chime in early, and kind of put their, put out content, or just kind of crucify this guy in a court of public opinion and all that. I try to read the affidavits and the court documents and all that when they're available. The only one I saw was the Cassie one, when he was assaulting her by the elevator, which I'm sure we've all seen. So anyway, so I want, I didn't, so that's why I try to stay away from stuff like that. It's because I know that there's so much more to it. We don't get the full story. Not only but with all the police stuff, right? With its video cameras and video footage and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's always something, So what I want to talk about today, and this is going to be, I always intend this to be brief, but I really want this to be brief because this is kind of a filler. But I want this to be a message to the men, to really make sure that you guys are on your game and on your point and on your P's and Q's. You have to understand, the words that you're putting out there, and some of this stuff, can follow us for the rest of our lives. So I'm specifically talking about those three individuals, right? Mayor Adams, Michael Eric Dyson, Puffy, P. Diddy, or whoever he is now. And all this, right? The stuff that we put out there, man, the stuff that you put out there, in particular social media and stuff, and these are lessons I had to learn myself, right? I had to learn these lessons, right? And the police department, right, we had this thing. There was a court case maybe like 10, 15, 20 years ago now, where, once cell phones started, text messages really started to become prominent, that they being the prosecutor or the defense, subpoenaed the officers' cell phones and were going through them in order for this court case. And then next thing, lo and behold, a lot of police officers got burner phones, right? Phones that they only use for work, and then phones that they would have for their own personal business. So, when you put stuff out there, man, it's going to be out there for everyone. So anyone who doesn't know, Mayor Eric Adams, from the New York City mayor, is under federal investigation. There's for allegations that he has taken money from the Turkish consulate to build a consulate, to build a building, to rush things through and things along those lines. And when for all this started to come out, right, a number of his staff, a member of staff of the police department, all began to resign, and they were taking their cell phones. They mean the government, the FBI, Department of Justice, DOJ, were taking their cell phones and all this kind of stuff. So now they finally come for him. I believe that they have already seized his phone and hit him with a bunch of indictments and all this type of stuff. So this stuff that's on your phone, you got to watch where you're sending it to. This is what got Michael Eric Dyson in trouble, right? Putting stuff and texting this woman from Nancy Mace from South Carolina. Don't tell anybody we look good together, coming off as flirtatious. And then this woman, which I still disagree with 100%, putting it on, entering into the record as the halls of Congress and all this kind of stuff. About why? Because this guy was allegedly hitting on you. I don't understand why that would make it there. Nevertheless, it made it there. And then, we get Diddy with all of his stuff that he's got going on. I'm sure they're going through they've already done the raids and, found a baby oil and and his weapons and all this stuff that everybody's already paying attention to. But I'm sure that all these different people who are prominent, they're prominent black men who have so quote unquote made it, mayors and professors and music moguls, right? These, and you look at R. Kelly and you look at all these other individuals, right? You look at even some white individuals, right? Harvey Weinstein and what's that guy? A couple of guys from CBS News, Matt Lauer. These ones at CBS News, but just all these different individuals being taken down for their allegations of sexual impropriety and who they're dealing with. And I'm saying this to upwardly mobile men and to all men out there in particular, right? If you want to be somebody, you got to protect yourself today. The messages that you send, the videos that you send, the videos that you take, you got to protect yourself. You got to think long term. And would you want this being read at Congress? Same question I asked before. Would you want this being read at Congress? Would you want this being read at other places? Right. So you think that these men have made it, and you think that there would be somehow exempt from this, but they're not. In fact, it might make you more of a target. Nobody knows what Eric Adams is saying, that this is a politically motivated thing, but he's a Democratic mayor in a Democratic city. Who's coming after? What are we talking about here, right? So, that's his side of the story. But what really made me want to talk about this, what put this on the forefront of my attention, not only because of the video I put on my other channel, but because I was listening to a podcast. And this guy was a host who was interviewing somebody who was formerly kicked off of YouTube, and now he's on another platform, I guess doing well. I don't really pay attention to him like that. But I had an issue with the interview that they did, because the interviewer asked the interviewee, who was the one who was kicked off of YouTube. And coincidentally, he was kicked off because of his rhetoric about another YouTuber woman and her boyfriend or something like that. Now this becomes important because he said in the interview, when asked about his thoughts about the Diddy situation, he said, "Well, I'm not paying attention to it because I'm too busy." Now it could be that this man learned from his mistakes and whatever. And if that's the case, I think he should say so. But he said, if you're paying attention to people like Diddy, then you're too busy. Then you're not busy enough, I should say. Now, listen, I thought that was a very hypocritical and bad answer, in all honesty. I thought that, anybody who's going along with that is setting themselves up. You should be paying attention to, in particular, prominent men who you want to be like, whether it's a music mogul. This is why I'm addressing all these different type of people. You want to be a politician, you want to be a music mogul, you want to be a big time professor teaching in universities and being called on different CNN platforms and MSNBC platforms and Fox News. You want to be that type of person who's a mover and shaker in all that. Somebody's blowing my phone up. If you want to be that type of person, then you got to watch yourself, and you got to pay attention to the mistakes other people are making. You have to pay attention to the mistakes other people are making. And if they're making sexually inappropriate mistakes, you should pay attention to that. If they're making financial mistakes where they are embezzling stuff, you should pay attention to that and then determine to be different. Again, these are the people that I'm highlighting. Diddy, Dyson, and Adams are all prominent black men. We want to enter into these spheres. We want to become prominent, and then we get caught up. And again, my reason and rationale for making this and putting on this channel is because I want to talk to men. But I'm saying that you need to learn from the past mistakes of others. A smart person will learn from their own mistakes, but a wise person will learn from the mistakes of other people. And when there was an influential podcaster, influencer who was kicked off on one platform because he was talking about another woman and her girlfriend and her boyfriend, and this woman went on to talk to the powers that be on YouTube and allegedly got him kicked off, right? I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get the full story, so I'm saying allegedly. This is the stories that I've heard, stories that are out there. And then he says, "Oh, well, I'm not, you're not paying attention." I just think that was a disingenuous answer. I just think that it was a disingenuous answer, caused to deflect and not wanting to do a critical analysis of Diddy. That's what I think it was. Didn't want to do a critical analysis of Diddy. And listen, I get that, because I think that there probably is something to this Me Too movement that we really need to take a closer look at. The allegations. Some of these allegations are 20 and 30 years old. What are we talking about here, right? In Harvey Weinstein's case, which is why they're doing a bunch of retrials and stuff. In Harvey Weinstein's case, these women had said, okay, he sexually assaulted. I'm just throwing out dates. He sexually assaulted me in March, but you continue to sleep with the man for the rest of the year. I'm exaggerating, but they continue to see the man. I don't understand what we're talking about here. Yes, because consensual relations at one time does not mean it's consensual all the time. Yes, I understand that. But at what point is this just a play for power and for money? So, and this is why it's important for all the details to come out and all this, right? You look at Bill Cosby's case, got tossed out because the prosecutor was withholding vital information. So this, I become skeptical about all this stuff that is old. I become skeptical of it. So I said all that to say that you got to pay attention to the world of which you live in, and if you want to become a mover and shaker, you can't make the mistakes that other people are making. And if they're making mistakes with their text messages and the videos that they're sending and the pictures that they're sending and the moves that they're making financially, the embezzlement that they're doing, and whatever else it is that they're doing out there, I've highlighted those people. But I remember there was a teacher. You talk about all the teachers who are sleeping with their students now. There was a principal. I said teacher. There was a principal. It was either New York or New Jersey, who was cheating on her husband with a guy. And she was making her secretary take illicit pictures of her and then send it to this other lady, and then send it to the guy, which was just baffling. So this has become a big scandal. So I'm just saying to watch yourself. Even if you don't want to become a mover and shaker, right? If you got something to lose, you got to be careful about how you negotiate and navigate in this world. You got to be careful about how you negotiate in this world, and you gotta pay attention. And I was very disappointed, as I mentioned for the third time, just disappointed in the guy's answer. We got to be critical of individuals. Be critical of me. Be critical of me. Who the heck is this guy? What is he talking about? So, but when these powerful people, when you become to be a powerful person, I mean, people are going to look for holes and chinks in the armor and all this kind of stuff, right? And they're going to try to take you down. And so you can't give them the ammunition. You cannot give them the ammunition to take you down. So let me leave it off there. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. And if you're an upwardly thinking man and you want to be somebody one day, watch yourself, watch your sexual exploits, the people you hang around with, watch your phone messages, Instagram messages, watch your social media presence. Watch all that, because it might come up, So much love and peace.